Well, very good evening, everyone. As Mr. Drew virtually turns round, welcome to the Studio Rats Q&A Live number 206. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And you are all very welcome to our weekly takeover of the interwebs. It has been a very long day. I was up at about 5 o'clock this morning to drive to Mr. Drew's to make some video loveliness for you beautiful people. And I got home about half an hour ago. So
was it half an hour ago? Wow, it's a long journey, isn't it? It's not. I mean, it's a stupid idea of you to move up there, wasn't it?
I hadn't frozen. I just thought it'd be funny just to do it. Yes, it was terrible of me to move an hour from where I live and you to move an hour and a half from where you lived. Well, probably 2 hours from where you lived.
Well, just because you moved, you were lowering the price of anywhere within a 200-mile radius. So I decided to move out of that, so house prices would be a bit better. Or that's not good, is it? No,
that's not gonna. No, it doesn't really work, does it? Anyway, you are all very welcome along to our takeover of the interweb, and it starts, as is tradition, with me saying, "Mr. Drew, what have y'all been up to?"
Well, you came over.
I did.
You came over, and then
we spent a whole day and didn't destroy an amp. Well, nearly.
we nearly did. We nearly did, but James brought his Marshall Jubilee over, and your new Bogner. Oh, we can talk about that in a minute.
Talk about that in a minute.
Talk about the new Bogner. But the Jubilee, love that Jubilee. That's great, isn't it? Do you know when we first plugged it in, I was like, "Oh, I don't like this," and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened to it. It just went poof, and it
probably got warm. I mean, it got toasty warm at one point.
Yeah, no, but it sounded great, that thing. But I tell you what a disappointment for as a pedal platform.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, because that was one of those moments.
Yeah, but that amp is glorious, just as an amp, as a driven amp. Clean sound's not so great, but as a drive sound,
it's a Marshall. It's not
fantastic.
It's never gonna.
Yeah.
But hey.
But we'll talk about the other amp in a minute. I did that. I bought that Klon pedal.
Yeah.
The Warm Audio Centauro.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
That's a really great pedal. Can I go and grab it?
Yeah, go on then.
This thing. Yeah, so if anyone didn't see the video, why are you here?
Where have you been?
Where have you been? Yeah. It's Warm's Centaur, but they put it in the Centaur box, so it looks like a Centaur, which is good and bad, because it's a massive thing, pedal, compared to like a standard sort of pedal enclosure. It's it's double the size.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, it's double the size. They're never great for sort of pedal real estate, but I like it. I like the fact that it looks like a Klon, and it just sounds brilliant. It's
isn't
great sounding Klon. Exactly, yeah, exactly. But that was from Guitar, and they were knocking them out for £100 for some reason.
They've started putting some more Warm pedals out at ridiculously low prices. I think the Jet Phaser and the Foxy Tone Box are like 70 quid at the moment.
Are they? They're that cheap?
Yeah, they've just an email went out today. So yes, and if the rest of the Warm pedals are as good as those ones, I mean, a dear friend of mine was at Warm when they launched the first two pedals, and he wouldn't have put up with any old shoddiness in the recreations. So
nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so all good. That's about it, really. Nice. It's a British summertime seems to have started
at last.
So I'm going to try and get out the studio more. and do some more of that, but still do the amount of videos.
Yes.
So what about yourself?
Well, I was in Barcelona at the weekend.
Yeah.
Cheering, which was very nice. Very, very late. Not much sleep. Way too early flights. All those sort of things. Then Monday, I had to edit a video, a concert production that I did. Tuesday, I can't even remember. Oh yes, went to get the new amp, which we'll talk about in a bit. Started the capture pack for that. Got my head around it and stuff. And obviously today been with you. So yeah, busy week thus far. Plenty going on. Gregoire is over tomorrow to do some rehearsals for a project that we're working on. I want to finish this capture pack tonight if I can at all do it, but I think it physically might not be possible. But yeah, lots going on. Good stuff. Yeah. Should we get into some of these questions and commentaries? Here we go. Boom.
Nabs, he says, hello gents. Hi Nabs. He said, hope all going hot like our weather here. Any demo soon for the Laney Lionheart or Ironheart loud pedal soon? Laney, for some reason, don't get in contact with us. I don't know why.
Well, we haven't done them free videos.
Should we? Yeah, that's very true. Actually, should we show what these pedals are?
We did try and do stuff with them, and then they didn't come back to us.
Yeah, Not every company sort of. Some companies have their own, people that do videos. Some companies don't even do videos. So we could go and buy the pedals. Quite a lot of expense to make 20 quid on a video.
Yeah.
But should we show the pedals? I can
do that.
Actually, I can do this, can't I?
Because the first thing I said to you was, we already have. You and Lee did the Lionheart pedal, and you went, "No, it's not the same."
No. So this is the new Martin Miller and Tom Quayle pedals, but I've got to say, they don't look very happy about it, do they?
I mean, two boys who could not look more bored if they tried.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit like, oh Jesus,
we're too cool for school.
Well, how much are we getting? How much is that? All we're getting?
Now, Martin Miller. So yeah. I knew him as the Martin Miller Band with all those amazing medleys on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's where I knew him from. And I went, this guy is phenomenal. An amazing
band.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Incredible band.
So is Tom Quayle. Both great, amazing guitar players.
But I knew Martin Miller first as the Martin Miller Band, not as guitar player legend in his own right,
Okay.
But
yeah, so basically, Tom Quayle's got the Lionheart, and Martin Miller's doing the Ironheart, which is one is more high gain, one's less high gain. It's basically a take on like a Friedman IRX, IRD sort of thing. Although it looks like it's got stereo cabs, has it?
Yeah.
No, it's not stereo. No, it's mono. So it's just got DI out, and it just blends the two cabs by the looks of things.
All right. Well, still, but it's got two cabinets inside.
No, hold on. It's got a power amp in it as well.
Yeah.
So it's just literally a sort of stick that on the
floor and plug in cabinets.
Yeah, I don't know if it's got a valve in it. I'd have to read it through. But yeah, it might have a valve in it. But anyway, yeah, it's that sort of thing. Yeah, I wish it was stereo.
Yeah,
you could have two cabs both sides and mix them how you want. But everything's got a price.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool.
Yes. Let me do that and do this.
There we go.
And do that.
There we go. Right. Here we go. Boom.
Angel Torres. New to the channel, but I've been hooked on. Love it. Oh, cheers, Angel. Nice to have you on board. Can't wait. No, I hope you don't disappoint. We normally do.
Shahaba.
He says, "Hey guys, I tried using both my PRS MT15 and Marshall DSL 20 heads. Hold on.
Invasion.
There you go. There you go. He's come to say hello. He's come to. Now, you haven't got an opinion. Here we go. Right. So he said, Shahabar says, "Hey guys, I tried using both my PRS MT15 and Marshall DSL 20 heads as power amps, going into effects return on both. Volume knob is for the preamp. Is that normal? Yeah. So your volume knob. Think of volume as gain.
Yeah.
On most amps, apart from non-master volume amps, volume is gain. So you can think of it as overdrive. The amount of gain going into the preamp circuit. I don't know why they should call it gain, but I guess it's just an old way of doing it.
Think of many non-master volume amps that also have an effects loop though, because it is quite an old school thing. Yeah. Non-master volume is quite an old school thing. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
no. I think you're pretty much right there. I think it's more of an old-fashioned way of doing stuff.
I mean, there's there's an JCM 800 non-master volume that I'm really keen to get.
Yes, yeah, they're nice. Yeah, nice.
That's the noise of rock and roll, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. But again, you're gonna have to turn that up. But anyway, going back to Shahabar.
That's never stopped.
Yes, you want to use your master volumes instead of your preamp, instead of your volume.
Yeah.
So on the MT15, it's called master volume, and on the Marshall DSL 20, there's gain. Is it gain and volume? I think there's two master volumes, isn't there? There's one for each channel.
Yes, I believe.
I don't know how. I don't know where the effects loop is in the chain of that, but try it that way. You'll be all right.
It'll work.
It'll work. Keith, evening, Keith. Our Lindsay Gear Safari says, "Evening, gents and TSR communitar. Hope everyone is well, and you, Al."
Al, quickly, hit me up about next week.
Okay.
There you go.
Daniel, good evening, Rats from a sunny hot 31. Wow, North Carolina. That's hot.
That is nice. I like that.
That's too hot. Ben. Good evening, gents. Always a treat when you two share your knowledge with us. Thanks for that. Anytime, Ben. Don't take everything we say as.
I was about to say, who walked in? Knowledge. Right, they're chatting amongst themselves, which is a good place to start.
Pet says, "Few cold ones with the Rats." Nice one, mate.
Indeed, we like that.
Wednesday's a night off for me, so I try not to drink on Wednesday. Scrunch. Is it me, but on the 9 guitars I have, many top end G string from the 12th fret and up does not sustain as well as the others. Okay, is it just me? But on the 9 guitars I have, many top end. So yes, top end guitars. G string from the 12th fret and up does not sustain as well as others. That's interesting. I wonder if you've got if it's a consistent thing amongst your guitars. I wonder if that's because I would say, okay, there's a high fret somewhere, like a really slight high fret somewhere that's just knocking off the.
Not across 9.
So would you think that could be a frequency issue in his room? Do you play in one room? I would say. Again, it wouldn't really. I wonder if it's a frequency that's just like nulling in his room.
Nulling in his room, yeah.
It's possible. It's possible, but I mean, that's all I can think of across 9 guitars.
Yeah. Weird, but not.
Is that? Have you tried it through a different amp? No, but it's just on the G string. What's okay? So hit a 15th fret G string and a.
My brain's going. I should know this.
Okay, hit a 15th fret G string and a 20th fret D string,
they should be the same pitch. And if it's a pitch thing, they'll both do it. You're right.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if. I mean, the further up the neck you go,
the shorter the string length, the less harmonic.
Think of.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Think of if you play an open string, you've got this big waveform. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The higher up, the higher the note you play, the shorter the waveform.
Yes.
The more compressed the waveform is.
The less energy.
So it's not going to sustain.
The less energy that string can sustain.
Exactly. So it's not going to sustain like an open string.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's really,
as we proved today with lots and lots of lovely gain, if you hold a 15th fret on the B string at a full tone bend, it'll sit there for hours if you've got enough gain.
That is actually pretty much perfect pitch. I think that was actually the right note.
I know.
Very good.
Hang on, I'm now curious.
Says,
hang on. Oh, it's a tone flat.
Oh, you're about to tone out.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. No, it wasn't. I was bang on. That was bang on. I was right.
Okay, we'll have to do some rewinding to double check.
Even I'm impressed with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. I think it could be a room if it does it on different strings, or it could just be.
No, it could be something in the amp he's playing through that's knocking off that frequency. I don't know. I don't know. It's really interesting. Yeah. Let us know. Let us know more. Funky Bass. Hello, rats and rat fans. Good to be able to join you guys. Is there any chance anyone has an ancient copy of Pro Tools 7.3 LE for Windows? Long and aggravating story. God. So if anyone's got a copy of Pro Tools 7.3 LE for Windows, God, you might be lucky there, mate. You might find a torrent of it somewhere.
Do you need just the installer, or do you need the license? That's a very different question. If you need the license on an Ilock, that's going to be difficult. An installer, there must be somewhere. If you have a license,
are you talking about
if you have a license for 7.3, it will probably still be in your Avid account.
Should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah, possibly. It's not
anyway,
a long time ago, really, that long ago.
Hollywood, evening Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the video of the Centaur, but I will. I've just not been able to watch much YouTube over the last week. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? It's, the channel's taking a bit of a smacking at the moment with views and subscribers. It's a bit of a tough time out there. Keith, Barcelona, lucky bugger. They do the best G&Ts over there.
They do. I try to avoid the expensive bits of Barcelona, like Las Ramblas. But I did discover a new drink when I was over there. And oh my God, is it good. It's basically Estrella, which is their national lager of choice, other than, what's the other one? San Miguel. But 3/4 of a pint of that. And then topped up with Fanta Lemon. Oh my God, like a Fanta Lemon Shandy is the greatest drink in the world, especially when it's late and you're really thirsty.
James is obviously not a connoisseur.
Not
right.
So in the morning.
Pet, I really want Apollo X6, but I would like you to talk me out of it. I have a twin X Duo, as you know, but love the UA platform and would like to add, could be gas. Do you need the extra inputs? Or do you need the extra fire, the extra engine power, processing power? Thanks, James. From it, there are cheaper ways to add the extra processing power.
Yeah.
But the X6, I've got an X6, and it's great. It's really stable. But the twin X is great. If you don't need any more inputs than that, save the money. Go and buy something. Go and buy something guitar-y.
My suggestion.
Yes.
And this, I don't know if they're still doing this deal.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time in not that long ago UA history, if you bought a piece of their hardware, you got a satellite, a UA satellite, which is basically a UA processing in a box without the I/O for free.
They do stuff like that all the time where they give away the microphones or they give away.
Yeah.
They're always doing deals like that.
So you might find that, say you want a 6176 mic pre with compressor, which Paul's still got that, or have you got rid of it?
Got rid of it. I don't know.
Anyway,
have a look at the box.
They might do a 6176, which is a 2U rack unit, mic pre and compressor, with and then throw in the processor that you want, and then you sell the mic pre, and you basically get everything you want for nothing.
Yeah.
So have a look around and see what deals there are. If it's processing you need, if it's I/O, you might be better to chop in your Duo and get the quad.
Yeah, to sell the Duo.
Ease of setup and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It does start to get complicated when you have more than not complex, but it gets more complicated when you have more I/O and more stuff and stuff.
Oh, I don't think it does with Universal Audio. I think it works great. But I'd suggest if you don't need the extra I/O and if you don't need the X Duo, sell that and go and get an X6. But if you don't need anything and it's just gas, look, at some point UA will release an update, and it's about time.
They're going to have to move over to ARM at some point.
Yeah, so it's going to be all of the X series and older are going to be outdated. So I think I'd be cautious about it unless you're not bothered. I think I'd be cautious about it.
And if it's just gas, secondhand.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because their stuff is bomb proof.
It is bomb proof. Steve, hello mate. He says, "Hey rats and pals, hope everyone is great." And you, Steve, hope all is well. Nectarius, he says, "What's the importance of your modeler having balanced outs versus balanced basic cable run length?"
And if you are using it live, and you have unbalanced, you're gonna run from your pedal board modeler thing on the floor via short jacks into a DI box to make it balanced.
Yeah.
So
it is a bit of a pain. It is a bit of a pain why they're all not balanced. I don't understand why they don't balance everything.
Probably down to back panel real estate, because
transformers. I guess it's all transformer based.
Yeah, but also the fact that an XLR is a lot bigger than a jack. A pair of XLRs is bigger than a jack.
Yeah, but you can have balanced jacks.
You can. That'd be true.
Steve, love the Miller Quell. Unimpressed with the Laney observation. It's not the best picture, is it? It's not the best picture. It's just like,
yes.
God, it's Laney.
This.
It's like I wanted Friedman.
And you wonder why they don't talk to us.
I'm not too fast. Now, Tom Quell is a Yorkshireman. He sure is. When have you ever seen a happy Yorkshireman? I guess I know what you're saying. Do you know who my favourite YouTuber is at the moment? Is Danny Sapko.
He's hilarious.
Oh, good.
I love him. And he is really good at bass.
He's so good.
But he's a good player as well. He's got it bang on. He's got his comedy slant. He's funny. He's got a thing, and he's a good player.
Yeah. He's really funny. He's absolutely brilliant.
And he's nailing it. Good on him.
Yeah. He'll do really well. Mr. Moxie, sir. Thank you very much. He says, "Cheers for the feedback and some sound logic. Food for thought indeed. Lack of processing puts a crimp on your UA plugins." It does. It definitely does. But maybe a satellite might be your way forward, because you can probably pick up a secondhand satellite, like an 8-core or something.
Yeah, an Octo. I sold a lot of that stuff a little while ago now, and didn't get as much for it as I hoped I would. So, prices are tanking on that stuff.
Yeah, very much so.
right.
Especially as processing powers go up in computing, people are using UA stuff less and less.
Well, UA are porting all their stuff over to what's it called? It's called UA Connect.
Yeah, and they always said they'd never do it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to the chatteroonie.
Indeed, craziness, hey? Right, they're all talking amongst themselves. Go there, boom.
Bodie, he says, evening all rats. How is the musical journey of the kids coming along? Both my kids on and off, but still showing interest, just enabling them with cheap gear and not pressuring. I always think that's the best way of doing it, not to pressure, because that's what puts most kids off.
Yeah.
They've got to want to play, haven't they?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've got another guitar lesson, you've got another piano lesson, blah, blah, blah. And you've got to do it. Have you practiced? That nagging just puts kids off.
I said very consciously that if they want to do it, I will be supportive, but I'm not going to be competitive dad.
Yeah, it's not cool though, is it? I guess because we do it, it's like something my dad does.
If my two want to come in here, they both have guitar lessons at school.
Do they? Nice.
Yeah, and they don't do any practice out of that. But if they get some fun from it, fine. I'll because of our unique situation, we don't have to pay for guitar lessons, which is nice. Yeah. But if they want to come in here and it's convenient, I'll let them have a go on drums and bash some stuff and show them some stuff, and they enjoy it. Am I going to try and get them to sit down and do it properly unless they really show some interest? I mean, I didn't start playing drums till I was 7, 8 properly.
Wow, that's still quite young.
Yeah, so I'm not going to pressure. I didn't start playing guitar probably till I was like 13, 14. So, not going to put any pressure on.
Yeah.
However,
Travis, thank you, sir. He says, "Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Is there such a thing as an affordable 2-rock or Amp Nation sound?
Depends how much money you've got."
Yeah, what do you mean by affordable? But yes, it is. Okay, so there's a couple of options. You can either go the digital route and you can get something like Tone X, and then get the 2-rock captures. We've done a load of the Amp Nation stuff. So that's the digital route. So it is the sound of the amp. It's exactly the sound of the amp. If you want a proper valve amp, there's a
Tone X1 will set you back up like under 200 quid, and 30 quid for captures.
Right, just give me 2 seconds because I'm going to look up. Can you keep talking for a sec? I'm going to look up.
I'll keep talking.
There's a company that makes great valve amps.
Mm-hmm. I'm keeping talking.
So go on.
Yeah, I mean, say as two people who have invested quite a lot of time and effort and money into doing the best possible captures we can for these platforms, I think certainly if bang for your buck is where you're heading, a couple of $100 on a Tone X1 pedal and some captures is the way forward. Paul was about to pull a real valve amp out of the bag, I think.
Yes, I'm nearly there. I'm just trying to find it. This is Adam, who is a pal of mine in Czechoslovakia, who actually bought. Okay, let me share the. I don't know if the music comes through, so I'll do that. Huh?
Share away.
Here we go. Okay, this company here called Hot Amps. They're a Czechoslovakian company that make hand-wired point-to-point Dumble style amps.
Nice.
And apparently, like I haven't had any conversation with Hot Amps or anything, but they are about £1,200.
Right.
Around that sort of price. So obviously, labor costs and stuff are probably a lot cheaper than it is in, say, like the US or the UK.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something a bit special, that could be an option. But again, it's still expensive, but it's not like buying Two Rock or a Amp Nation?
No, it's not.
I'm back.
It's
I'm back.
It's
no.
thousands of. It's £1,000 rather than thousands of pounds.
Yeah, rather than 4 or 5 grand. Yeah.
But say if you've got a couple.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, and these amps, it's very subtle differences between a really expensive amp and a more budget amp. When I say a more budget amp, I mean James and I had it today, where James brought over his Marshall Jubilee, which in the UK retails for about £1,150, something like that, and we compared it against my Soldano, and the Jubilee, yes, not as versatile, sounded great.
But if you want a rock and roll noise, they both make a really great rock and roll noise.
They do make a really great rock and roll noise. Right. Next one.
Boom.
Have you put the link up just in case?
I haven't. I will do that right now.
Lee wants to come on because Lee loves to come and have a little chat. And
he does. I'm gonna post the link down here, and it will go to
probably bought something.
Yeah, probably.
Jeff says, "Hey fellas, thanks for the advice last week. I pulled the trigger on a Cornell Plexi 1820 on Friday. What a great amp! I had the Marshall 2061X reissue years back. The Cornell kills that. Nice. Yeah.
Dennis makes good amps, doesn't he?
Yeah, makes good amps. NYC Geology, beautiful pup. Is that a poodle? Oh, Diggy. No, so there's Diggy. He's having a little snooze on the floor because it's hot. There he is. He is what is known as a cockachon. So he's a cocker and a Bichon mixed. His dad was a Bichon and his mum was a cocker.
There's jokes there that I'm going to avoid at all costs.
Yeah, there's lots of funny ones. Like a Shih Tzu and a poodle.
Yeah. Or a bulldog and a Shih Tzu.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. That's a good one. Jim Simmons, you guts should come out with your own Studio Rats pedal. You guys should come out with your own Studio Rats pedal. It could be a capturing pedal with your favorite amp and effects. That's a nice idea.
As someone who is involved with a company who is going into manufacturing for the first time, AIM Audio, I can tell you that it isn't as easy as you think it's going to be. It is really hard, and as soon as you say, "Oh, let's do our own pedal," you go, right. We've got. Let's just say we had £100,000. We don't. That 100 grand is going to vanish in a fraction of a second when you start building a project from scratch and doing all these sort of things.
I don't think a pedal is a problem. Yes. No, I don't think a pedal. Pedals don't cost that much.
Capturing and amps and effects and things, you start getting to that sort of level of tech. That's
no, you're right there. You're right there. No, sorry. Yes, you are right. If it's all digital stuff and capturing stuff,
say goodbye to your budget. And there are so many people out there doing it better. They're doing a really, really good job now.
There are, yes. I think you can get the sounds that we use on the either on the Quad Cortex or the Tone X. I know we go on and on and on about Tone X, and sorry, we'll stop.
No, we won't.
That's great. Mike Blue says, "Howdy from Austin." Howdy, Mike Blue. Jim, you guys should come out. Yeah, Mississippi Blues, Evening TSR. All guys, any recommendations for miking and acoustic guitar? £500 budget. Cheers. I think you can get something decent for 500 quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what? The Warm Audio 87. How much is that? Got to be about that sort of price.
No, they're a bit more than that, I think.
They are.
Yeah.
The 414.
You can get a Warm 414 for that sort of money. Yeah. WA, I think it's called the WA14, I think it's called.
414 was my favorite acoustic mic.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, and this is going to really shock you that I'm going to say this. Audio Technica do the AT
40, 30.
I think no, do you know what? I think it might even be the AT 2020, which was about 200 notes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's phenomenal. It's a brilliant microphone, and they did a kit where you got the mic and like a basic interface, some headphones and stuff, and I think it was about 250 quid, and it was the best money you could spend on gear. Absolutely phenomenal mic. Not, you know, not going to light the world up with character and stuff, but a really good usable mic. 200 quid.
Okay, but I'd recommend an 87 clone. You're not going to get a U87 for that sort of money. But if you can stretch a little bit more, let me have a quick look to see how much a warm U87 is.
You might be able to get a Mark 1 because there's a new version now. You might get a Mark 1 on
eBay. They're 529 quid.
Okay.
Actually, the W87 is 400 quid on scan.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get them on. Yes, you can buy them for £500 easy.
Yeah.
Now, if you need, where am I? There we are. If you need, that's called the W87. Sorry,
WA87.
WA87. Now, if you need the interface and stuff with that, then yes, I think James's option is far better. But I would try and go as great transducer, whatever you want to call it. So your input, you want to be as good as possible. The microphone is far more important than, say, like the interface.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it sounds illogical, but the interfaces, as in the bit where the transducers, the bit where the sound goes in and the bit where the sound comes out, are by far the most important bit.
Without a doubt. Same things like pickups, amplifier, that sort of thing. It's all
very rare that we agree on something. What the hell's going on?
Don't know. You must be talking sense for once. Scrunge. Yet the B and E sustain far longer on the same note.
Yeah, think same note, same frequency is the important bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to get quite far up the G string to get a note above the 12 string.
He also says, even unplugged.
On all the guitars. Quite a few people on International discussing it.
International, yeah. Don't know.
Weird. International is. I don't. I will have a look tomorrow. I'll plug in, but I haven't noticed.
Topic on the internet.
Really? If it's if it's a cheap guitar, I'd say, oh yeah. I mean, maybe the frets and stuff. But if it's a decent guitar, I haven't got one guitar that would do that.
No, I haven't. My guitars aren't that expensive.
No, not noticeably. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Nectarius, he said, Polyfiller have said today in Toman video, there's quite nothing like the warmth of a tube amp. What? Sorry, I'm confused. I'm confused from a band that use modelers on stage. We are talking about young artists, digitally native, only use a tube amplifier. Only use a tube amp after using modelers, not unless that they're now moving on to tube amps.
They've realized.
I mean, I couldn't agree more.
Well, we said today, didn't we? The as brilliant as captures and modelers and all that sort of stuff are, I plugged into that Soldano and went, yes, because it gave you the fizzle, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it's great. It's nothing like it. It's great. It's awesome.
And then we go from sensible like guitar music based topics to
Estrella Dan or Estrella Galicia. I like it's what the Galicia is the one in the black label, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I like the Dam.
The Estrella Dam, the red bottle.
Yeah, me too.
I could drink a lot of that potentially.
Yeah. Jeff, could that be a common pickup height issue or an action setup thing? With it being all 9 guitars or string brand issue? That's an interesting thought.
Did all your strings did you buy?
See, Jeff should be. Why does anyone listen to us? Why isn't Jeff on instead of us?
Yeah.
Be much better. Yeah. So the pickup action thing, I would say that's possible, but not on all 9 guitars.
It's the fact that it's all 9. That's the weird thing. If you got a bad batch of strings, if you changed all 9 guitars, say you bought a box like you do, Paul.
Yeah.
If you were unlucky and there was a bad batch of G strings, I mean, G is always the difficult one. It's always the difficult string, isn't it?
I don't really see anything as being difficult string. I mean, sometimes on a Les Paul or a Les Paul or a Gibson style guitar, yeah, but that's mainly for tuning, keeping it in tune. Yeah, on a badly set up one.
Yeah,
I should say as well. I mean, I've never noticed it. I mean, I've definitely had guitars that have got strings that are dead, and that's only a fret issue, but not across 9 guitars.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah, so it could be a string brand issue. Was that Abraham?
It was, yes.
He says funky bass. Do you still but your Digi Design hardware as Pro Tools only opens with that hardware from 9 onwards?
Do you still have? I think that should be
Have
be your. Well, yes, and Lee is right. You will need the Digi hardware to open Pro Tools that old,
unless it's hooky.
Unless it's hooky, and then I don't know of anyone who faked that bit back then. And bear in mind, I was with Avid back then.
Yeah. If I can only imagine that you've got a project that you want to open.
Yeah.
That's the only thing the reason, because, and even so, if you've got a project, I would open it on a newer version of Pro Tools and then save it to that Pro Tools, and then or we'll just move it, save it to Pro Tools, export it, get it out of Pro Tools, go and put it on a more usable platform.
Yeah. Yeah, strange.
Is that Wadey or Waddy, do we think? Wadey.
Wadey.
9060 CS. He says, even gents, have either of you tried one of the master built Seth Backus guitars? No, I haven't, mate.
Sounds nice though.
Yes. Oh yeah, plenty one of them. Nectarius, I just want to say that you two come across as amazing people. I haven't met you guys. That's why he thinks you come across. And I probably won't ever meet you, but I just wanted you to know. Cheers, fella. That's really funky bass. The burglars nabbed my ancient Crillion PC.
Carillon.
Carillon. No, is it Carillon? PC, but left my Digi 002 and external hard drives. My Avid account still has the Digi key, but the software link is blank. Can we get that right?
I'd reach out to Avid support. If you're legit, I would say Avid support will be able to help you out.
Is it Digi 002? Does that get used instead of Ilock?
Oh, could you know? It's so long ago. No, you still
can you
002 is a Digi 002 was
that's the rack. Yeah. It's the big 2U rack, isn't it?
2U rack. You still had to have an iLock, I think.
I thought you still had to have one.
Reach out to Avid.
Yeah.
They'll help.
Yeah, definitely.
And if they don't help, come back to us and we'll name and shame them, because they should be.
Absolutely.
Funky.
Bass. And it's funny. Knowledgeable and can play very well. Great sense of humor. Yeah, he's very funny. Great
player. Really nice feel. When he does his sound-alikes, I go, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's good sound. His sense of timing. His comedy sense of timing is brilliant.
But he has come through the ranks because he was a demonstrator for what's the place in York? Gear for Music.
Was he?
That's how he came to this crazy world. Yeah, he did loads of demos for Gear for Music.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's done his graft as well. He's done his time.
Yeah, good. Have we got another?
I don't believe. Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah, Travis. Cheers, Travis. He says hot amps look great, but I'm in the US. I'll defo look into getting one shipped this way if it makes sense financially.
They do look good.
I mean, they do look good. They do look good. Your other option is who's that Indonesian company that make? Oh, hold on, I've got one of their. Although it hasn't got the brand on it, I bought that off them.
Not sure.
I can't. Yeah, it'll come to me. Seriatone, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Cheriatone or something. But yeah, have a look at them. They do good Dumble style, because that's basically what they are. Two Rocks and Amplified Nations are Dumble style amps. Who's the other company? There's a company a Chinese company that make VHT. I think make a Dumble.
As in the people.
I think they do. Yeah, I think they make a Dumble thing now, but they're all made in China now. I think.
Yeah,
I'm sure they make a Dumble clone. Ned, he says, hello. Are the amp models different on the Boss IR200 and the Boss GT1000 core? Should be different. AIRD on the GT and whatever on the IR200. Which sound better or just personal taste? I mean, if I put it up against each other, I'm not sure you'd be able to tell the difference. I mean, the GT1000 is probably the way to go. If you're just worried about amp tones, if you're not worried about effects, get the IR200. If you want great effects, go to the GT1000. But I wouldn't worry too much about the actual differences in the sound.
As long as it's not Cosm.
Yes,
because that's going back a little while.
Funky Bass. My older son used to have drum lessons at school. My younger son has bass lessons. They're a different generation. There are more things for kids to do these days, and cool is different too. Yeah.
I think it comes around. You know, if either of my kids want my help, they'll ask. They know to ask. And I will give it to them in spades until they go, Dad, you're not cool. Which, yes.
Travis, he says 1200 for point-to-point hand-wired valve goodness. I'll take. Nice. Yeah. And Adam says they're really good as well.
Yeah, cool.
Really good. I mean, I think I'd order one just for, you know, if there's an amp, if I'm in between amps, I think I'd be quite interested in ordering one.
Yeah.
Evan, get a Crazy Tube Circuits unobtainium. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, no, actually, that's a good shout, Evan. That's a good shout. The Crazy Tube Circuits unobtainium, which you just happen to have over there. Well, I've got the raw version. I haven't got the other version. I haven't got the original version. So this one of these. This side's a clone, and this side is a Dumble. And it's a steel string singer and an ODS preamp. So yeah, that's a good shout as well, because these do sound really good. Really, really, really good. But if you want valves, then you're gonna have to go. I mean, there are pedals. Tubesteader make a Dumble, valve pedal. I haven't tried it, but the Tubesteader stuff's good.
Yeah, cool.
Herb of Firestar Studio. Howdy, gents. Howdy, Herb.
Howdy, Herb.
Alan says, good to see you guys from sunny, hot Alabama. Wow. That's got to be humid over there at the moment. Inside yanking on my herd. Ooh, nasty. Oh, PV solid bodies. Inside. Is there, where are PV based? Is that around? Is that southern America?
Yeah, they're a southern state somewhere. I don't remember exactly. I don't think I am. They're one of those companies that really fell from grace, didn't they? You know,
was it all to do with him doing the Undercover Boss?
Undercover Bosses. No, I think it was bad before then.
Was it?
I think they did doing Undercover Bosses didn't go down well in the whole. Yeah, it wasn't his greatest business decision.
No, wasn't. Scrunge, do you have any favourite low king tuner to replace Grover non-locking?
Locking.
Oh, locking. I see. Sorry. Do you have a favourite locking tuner to replace Grover non-locking on Les Paul? Sorry, always tinkering. And I would never change tuners unless I absolutely had to.
Only time I've ever changed tuners was on my Epiphone Sheraton because the originals gave up and I put Grovers on because everyone said put Grovers on.
Yeah, I don't even see the point. I wouldn't even change.
Only reason I did it is because the little plastic O-rings all popped.
Yeah,
they all just gave up. So I went, I'll take them off, put these on.
Yeah, but they were cheap though. That's just cheap.
Yeah,
what guitar was it? My
Epiphone. So I think they were 50 quid for a set.
Yeah, but the Epiphone
is not an expensive guitar, I know. And yeah, exactly. the ones that were on it were cheap. Yes.
Exactly, yeah. Spurzels are really good. I've used Spurzels before. The tuners that are on the, I mean, Wilkinson would do some good ones. Have a check at Wilkinson, and they'll be quite reasonable. But yeah, I mean, I personally, I would never change tuners unless I had to, and if I did, I would change them to like for like. I never really see the point in locking tuners.
My Eggle's got Wilkinson lockers on it, and they're great.
Yeah, Wilkinson, and it's got Spurzels.
No, I think it's
your Eggle.
Yeah,
I think you'll find the Spurzels.
Oh, are they? Okay, fair enough. Like I know.
Yeah. He used to put Spurzels on. Paul Donovan. Paul, have you played an Ibanez AZ2204? Looking to buy an Ultra Strat, but the Ibanez sounds really nice. Also bought a bunch of your packs for Tonex, but keep going back to your matches 30, 35, the Independent 35. Cheers, Paul. Yes, that's a good old pack. There's loads of packs out there now that we've done. No, I haven't played any of the modern Ibanez stuff. If you want something like that, I've got a possible signature guitar coming out, which is quite exciting, from quite a small company that's going to be very much sort of HSS sort of super strat thing. I don't know how long it's going to take. I need to get back to them about some specs actually. But no, I mean, Ibanez make great stuff. I wouldn't hesitate on buying any of the AZ stuff. It's all really good quality, made really well, and yeah, go well with that. Funky bass for stereo recording of an acoustic guitar. How about a pair of Sontronic small condenser mics?
I've done. There's video tutorials out there on the Sontronics Tough. I think it's called the STC1. They do an STC1 stereo pack, and it's really good stuff.
Good stuff.
I think you pick them up from about 300 notes, I think, for a pair. Not expensive.
Nice. No. Lee says, I've got a large diaphragm SE and an SE pencil. Both sound great on acoustic. Pencil is easier to set up.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. Pet, my acoustic setup here is high Z into Apollo mic pre. Oh, I see. Okay. It's acoustics. It's got the input going to the high Z input on the Apollo, and an AKG 414 for the Vox. Great sound to my ears, at least out of the Adam A7X. Is nice.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. Ned, what do they mean with warmth of a tube amp? I mean, how do they radiate heat? But seriously, is the warmth just the way the sound break up that we all grow up with and enjoy? Well, having a bunch of valve amps in the studio in the summer today, they definitely give off some warmth.
Definitely toasty.
Definitely toasty, wouldn't it? They do give off a lot of heat. No, I mean, there is something. It's just a word, isn't it? It's just a word, warmth.
Warm generally refers to low mid in the frequency spectrum. When someone says it's got a warm sound, they generally mean it's sort of a bassy. But it's all to do with harmonics.
I'm not sure he means
to do with harmonics, not frequencies, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I don't think he meant it as in a warmth, as in from an audio point of view.
Right.
I think he meant probably from maybe the rectifiers. I mean, I don't know what amps he's referring to, but amps with valve rectifiers as opposed to solid state rectifiers, definitely have more of a spongy attack. Maybe he means that more than less immediacy, which you're going to get from something like a Core Cortex, which I think they use or they used. You're going to get the initial attack into that is very immediate, while plugging into a valve amp, there's a bit more give. I would have thought they mean that.
Yes.
Oh, got a little ding.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. It says, "Hi gents, Iron Gear pickups. Just thoughts on them. They have a great selection. You've used Iron Gear, haven't you?"
We put Iron Gears in the Epiphone. We swapped the pickups out, and they are awesome. They're really good, and they are competitively priced. I'm not going to say cheap because they're not cheap.
Yeah. I don't think that. Yeah, but they're very reasonably priced.
Yes,
compared to most pickups. Lee, Ned, warmth is a boost around 120 hertz.
Yeah,
there we go. I don't think that's what they meant by that, but I don't think they meant frequency. Scrunch. Have strung all with Ernie Ball Slinky 9s or 10s. Don't use Ernie Ball, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. Right, they're chatting amongst themselves. Oh, hang on. No, I thought he'd.
What's that? I'm back.
Keith said about Pro Tools.
Yeah.
Drum question. Hey, at last.
Oh God. Pet, you know better than this. Pet says, drum question for James, but feel free to weigh in. The drum sounds on the album Trouble Gun by the band Therapy is something else. Sounds amazing, cranked. Some engineering production magic.
There'll be some processing in there as well. I don't know this particular album. There might, depending on its era, there may be some drum replacements, some samples. I mean, say the way to get a good drum sound is really easy. You get good drums with a good player in a good room with good mics and a good recording engineer. Put it all together, and you end up with a good drum sound. At that point, you've got to work really hard to break it because you just put all the faders up and it just sounds like a drum kit.
Yeah.
It's then just a question of taste. If you end up, I've spoken to a couple of engineers sort of relatively recently who've sent me stuff and gone, what the hell would you do with that? And I'm like, re-trigger everything because it sounded so bad.
Yeah.
The thing that a lot of people forget about with drums is phase. Getting the microphones all in phase together and all working together as one acoustic instrument is hard. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's hard.
It is hard.
And
it's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to record well, I think, is drums.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky. I've just, I've had, considering the limitations of my previous drum room, I had a great noise out of there. I now get a better noise in here, hopefully.
You get a much better. I wouldn't say you get a much better noise in there.
I had to fake it a lot in the old room, whereas this room it just sounds good.
Funky, thanks for the advice, guys. You and the rap fans have cheered me up and pointed me in the right direction. Cheers, Funky. Glad it helps.
We do what we can.
Nectarius, would you pick a McCarthy 594 over a Les Paul for the same reasons you would pick a Silver Sky over a Stratocaster and vice versa? That's a great question. What do you want? They're. So I've had a 594. I've had two 594s. I've had a single cut. Was it single? Yeah, it was a single cut. I've had a single cut, solid one, weighed a ton, and I've had the 594 hollow body 2, which was light as a feather and was an amazing guitar. The 594, even though it had exactly the same pickups, didn't sound anywhere near as good as the hollow body. I would. It depends what you want. Do you want something that looks like a work of art, or do you want something that's, I don't know, is a bit of a player's machine? I think a Les Paul. I would get a Les Paul over a 594 any day. Silver Skies over a Strat. Now, if I had the choice, the price of a Silver Sky compared to the same sort of price on a Strat. So if you're talking brand new, we're talking about 2,200, something like that. It's a lot of money. So you're talking Silver Sky or Strat Ultra. Silver Sky every day of the week.
They are awesome.
They are absolutely amazing. Love the pickups on them. The only thing for me is the radius of the neck, but I could live with that. Really great sounding guitar. So I would buy a Silver Sky over a Strat for the same sort of value. I would buy Les Paul over a 594.
Right, are you ready for this?
I don't think anybody could be ready for this.
I'm not sure the internet is ready for this yet.
I don't think.
Right,
let's.
I'm just building myself up to it. Ready?
Bow your heads, people. Bow your heads.
Ladies and gentlemen, greatness has come amongst us. Please welcome Mr. Lee Abraham. Was that your Beaker impression?
Yeah. A Beaker, little bit of Beaker. Haircut.
How we doing?
All right, mate. Yourself?
Tired, mate, if I'm honest. But
yeah,
early start.
Yeah, so I hear. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and because I thought about you've had a few questions tonight where I thought, oh yeah, I could say a few things about that, but then you started to talk about drum production, which is my it's sort of it's what are you suddenly going to kick me out and ban me?
You're very close. You're very close. You're very close to being booted. If he says the D word again.
Okay.
You know I can boot him out, Lee. It's all right.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Go on. Get over and done with.
I was just going to say about the forgive me, I can't remember who it was. Somebody mentioned about the IR200 versus the GT1000 Core and the amp choices. The thing I didn't like about the IR200, which is essentially why I moved it on, is because it didn't have the X Crunch amp in it, and it didn't have the modded amp in it. It only had the X High Gain. Plus a few others, Voxy things and other things that I'd never use. So I really like the range, the X range, the X Crunch, the X High Gain, and the X Modded. All three of those are in the IR2, and they sound great in that. So that's why I kind of moved that one on, really, because believe it or not, I use the X Crunch, just the X Crunch for clean sounds. Because if you wind the gain right down, it sounds brilliant as a clean tone. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the reasons why I ended up going for the GT1000 Core. Also because it's all everything in one box, so a little bit easier. But no, just getting back to this drum production thing. The thing that really bothers me these days is how everybody wants to make their drums more louder and more bombastic than the last album. Or the last album they heard. I don't know how true this is in other musical areas, but certainly in the sort of heavy progressive music, it's just, and we talk about loudness wars with mastering, don't we, and how silly that all got. But it's getting like that way with drums. I mean, even if you take into account Dream Theater's last album, View from the Top of the World, which was Mike Mangini's last album, of course. Now Mike Portnoy's returned. Paul, you might want to get yourself a can of Monster to keep yourself awake while we're talking about this.
That's how Paul feels about this conversation.
just very strong coffee or something, maybe. Yeah. But just you listen to the very start of that album with the track I think it's called The Alien, is it? Mm-hmm. And it's just so over. The drum sound is just so over the top, even from the very first bar of the very first track, and it just doesn't let up for the whole album. And I remember watching a Rabir Massad video because he does a lot of the drums himself on his electronic kit.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he got his drum sounds. He uses, I don't know, Superior Drummer or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And he said after he's done his drum performance, he's recorded all the MIDI into his computer. He instantly just highlights every note and whacks it all up to 127. Every single beat. And I just think, well, where is the dynamic in that? Where's the subtlety and the,
There's also been this thing recently where there's been a fashion, if you like, for what's referred to as one-shot samples. Right. So if you want all your snares to sound the same, whack a one-shot, one dynamic sample on it. And I'm like, surely there is more to drums than just loud, blasted. Yeah. There is, there's a certain dynamic to it. I think Paul's actually died, hasn't he?
He's died of boredom. Yeah,
probably. I don't know. I mean, I certainly. I think it depends on the project, on what is required drumming wise, and what the client wants me to do. But a lot of my drum sound is just the drums with mics on.
Yeah,
I don't even need cue all the time, because if you want to change the sound of the snare drum, either change the snare drum, change the mic, or don't hit it as hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and I know that's from a purist's point of view. I realize I'm using the phrase purist and drummer in the same sentence, but it's not just animal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, although, and that's how I always think half the battle. I mean, certainly all the drum recording that I've done, half the battle is using, as you said earlier, a good drummer on a good, well looked after drum kit, and a nice space to record in.
Yeah,
get those three things right. Don't worry about spending tens of thousands of pounds on microphones and interfaces. Just get those three things right first, and you could probably record it with some fairly budget gear, and you'd still end up with a great result.
Yeah. Some of the best drum recording I ever did was when I was at Butlins, and the kit lived on stage, because why wouldn't it? We opened the curtains in the venue, put a stereo pair at the front and a kick and a snare mic in, and the room, as in the big room at Reds and Skegness, was the sound of the drum recording. It was awesome, and it sounded huge. And no one went, "Oh, I'm not sure about the drum sound," because with less mics, there's less problems with phase. There's all those sort of things just go away.
Yeah.
John Bonham did okay with the Glyn John technique. 3 mics.
Yeah. Alex Van Halen did that as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
A lot of the time it was just 3 mics. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, we better start talking about guitar stuff, because
guitars.
Hold on.
Nap there.
Just I was just picking up this Virtuo. The Emerald Guitar Virtuo, and I was going to check on the see how that is on the.
Shall I check my Sir while we're here? What is it we're doing?
We're checking on high-end guitars whether on the G string, everyone gets a guitar out, whether on the G string anything past the 12th fret. So let's say 15th fret. What's the sustain like compared to the same note on a different string?
It's a bit duller, but No.
Well,
Well, the B and the E sound a little bit brighter than the rest of them. Really, all the rest sound the same.
there we go. God, this is good. This is good.
It's good viewing, isn't it?
It's good viewing. It's good viewing. Right, back to guitar stuff.
I think. Let's say the frequency is the same. If you do 15th fret on the G string, 11th fret on the B string, the frequency is the same. But because of the extra string length of 11th fret on the B string, you do get more sustain.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, but remarkably more sustain.
I wouldn't say remarkably. No. I mean, I could hear it. There is a difference, but that's down to string length. That's down to the amount of harmonics that you can fit in that string length.
Absolutely.
But you don't hang around long up here anyway, really, do you? Because you're normally going.
Didn't we say only today that there's no money past the 12th fret?
There's no money past the 12th fret. Don't even bother.
No.
Don't even bother.
Didn't Donald Duck Dunn say that of the 5th fret on bass? There's no money above the 5th fret.
Yeah, and he's right. Very right.
I used to play with the drum. When I used to play bass years ago, I used to play with the drummer. And the drummer always used to say, "Oh, I've never seen you play up the dusty end."
Dusty end, yeah, that's good,
I love it.
Hopefully, Paul, you've forgotten who you lent the clon to.
Oh, I remember that. Have you still got that?
Oh,
you still got? Well, are you liking it now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to maybe buy not this one, but I'm gonna have to buy something similar, I think.
Oh, just give us a shout because if you want I've got so many clones, mate. So if you want, say if you're going to buy one, let's have a look. I'll see what I've got. I've got a few. Oh, if you're gonna buy my Ryra, because I've got so many bloody clones now.
Okay, send me a price.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just we'll find out what they're going for, and then I'll make it cheaper than that.
All right, nice one.
Right. Yeah, Lee, hang around for this bit.
Yeah,
because I bought something you would like.
Oh, you'd like this, Lee. All right, pup.
You ready for this?
Yeah. Hold on. Watch this. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. No, it's not. I thought you can do his little.
This is his party piece.
Yeah.
Right. You ready for this, Lee?
Yeah, go on.
I drove all the way to Southend for this.
Wow.
Southend?
Which for me is about an hour each way, which is quite nice. But this.
Southend?
Heavy.
Oh, yeah, I like that front panel. Oh, it's lovely.
Cool, isn't it? It's cool, isn't it? That is so.
Because it's quite heavy.
Is it? Just hold it steady just for about half an hour or so.
That's it. I still can't see it, James. Yeah,
he's got to put it down. He's going to collapse in a minute.
The Bogner Helios Eclipse, and it's the most gain you've ever heard.
Really?
It is. It's obscene.
In channel 3 in Eclipse Plus mode,
it's ridiculous.
I think it would satisfy even Mr. Abraham.
I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would.
It is the most amount of gain you've ever heard. It is absolutely. I mean, it's pointless. It's pointless.
It's a pointless amount of gain. There you go. There's a new measuring technique.
I think I'm going to get a T-shirt.
Yeah, pointless amount of gain. Yeah.
It's got some good tones in it. It's got some really good tones in it. But apart from that, Eclipse Plus on that high gain setting is ridiculous. It's really good.
It's a thing of beauty.
Right. So this is going to be the next capture target, is it?
Yeah, I've been working on I was working on them yesterday, and we'll be doing the next couple of days. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really. I mean, it's a Bogner. Therefore, it's in that realm of amps for me because it's the new. Mr. Drew was telling me today it's the new Lukather amp.
Yes, he's been playing Bogners recently, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, but that one he was playing Ecstasies. He was playing Ecstasies, but now he's playing that Helios Eclipse.
Right. Okay. Excellent.
It's his new thing.
Sadly, I haven't instantly been able to play like him, which is rather unfortunate. But
I saw the most.
You should be able to buy the gear that person plays and then sound exactly like them, shouldn't you?
Yeah. Either that, or they should come around your house and just play for you.
Exactly.
That'd be so good. So I'm like, oh, Mr. Luther, sir. Yeah. Hey, come here to play. Yeah, great. Come in. I'm not sure what question that was, but
I can imagine he would be a real nightmare to work with in a studio for a day or so. I mean, he's off on a different planet a lot of the time when he's interviewed, isn't he? He talks over people all the time and stuff, and he's just kind of like, what is he going on about? He's mumbling away.
I think he's brilliant. I think you could put him in here, him, me, and a bass player, and we'd have a lovely old time.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'd have a lovely time.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be the new Lost Lobotomist, couldn't it?
It's a. Has anyone ever said to you, you look like Simon Phillips?
Yeah, you do. You do. It's all in the hair, I think, James. That's what it is.
Yes.
Bouffant.
What was I going to say? Oh, yes. I saw the most bizarrest YouTube video this afternoon. And I thought, oh, my God, if anyone was... it was for a Mesa Boogie amp. It was on the Mesa channel. You saw it as well, didn't you, by the look on your face?
No, I haven't.
No.
Who would you regard as the most bizarrest guitar player that you would ever see on an official Mesa Boogie video promoting a Mesa Boogie Badlands amp?
Eric Johnson.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, bizarre.
Okay. Are we talking YouTube guitar player or a famous guitar player?
No. He's a bona fide British name, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. But it's the most bizarrest choice.
Mark Knopfler.
No, you're way off.
That would be bizarre. Albert Lee.
No,
Albert Lee.
No.
Who?
Ralph McTell.
No, you're getting close.
David Gilmour.
It's Charlie Simpson from Busted. And I'm not even joking.
What the hell?
Yeah, go and look it up.
But that's only like Taylor Swift being voted the 8th best guitarist of the decade.
Don't even go.
Listen, yeah, but Charlie Simpson had that band,
Fight Star, yeah.
Fight Star, that's it.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff was actually quite good, but the only thing is, it was never gonna be successful because it was like, oh yeah, you're the guy from that boy band. How can you be in a serious, credible band and you're always known as the band that did those sort of cheesy punk pop songs?
I got a bit of a soft spot for Busted. I think they were quite what they do. I thought they were really good.
I always wanted to be in a Busted tribute band called Broken
or Fixed. But I just thought it was a bizarre choice of guitarists to be promoting Mesa Boogie amps, on their official channel.
Might have to go and watch that later on.
Yeah, go and watch it. I mean, he does a good job. I mean, he sort of strums around in a fairly kind of, a bit like I do, really, just kind of fairly pedestrian sort of manner. There's no guitar heroics going on, but I just thought, wow, that's really bizarre, especially when they've got people like, John Petrucci and, well, I don't know how they do. John Petrucci. And Charlie from Busted.
Santana still plays.
The fact that he has to be. So you say John Petrucci, and no one expects from Dream Theater on the end. The fact that you have to say Charlie from Busted.
I've never. I don't know what as a guitar player. I'm sure he'd do a good job, but it bless him. It must be tough because, he's a talented guy, but then you think, oh, this boy band's asking me to join, and I've got the right look. He's a good-looking boy, and he joined at that time, and then you want to be a serious artist. It must be tough. Bless him.
The only person who seems to have done that is Tom from McFly, because he's gone down I'm a singer-songwriter and I'm going to write for everybody else.
Well, he wrote the Busted songs.
He wrote all the Busted songs. He wrote all the McFly songs. He's a bit like the Gary Barlow of the boy rock bands, because he wrote all the songs. And he fronted Busted. He fronted McFly. He was never the cool one from McFly. But clearly the one they needed, because of his
Same with James Bourne from Busted, I guess. He was the little geeky one, but he was the one who wrote all the songs.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, chaps.
Full circle.
You got a ton of questions to get through, so I'll say good night.
We have.
Yes. All right, mate. Good to see you, mate. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Before we do, I'm going to do this.
Travis, you've been very generous with your super chats. Thanks, mate. He says, I took a Nitro Highway 1 Strat and converted it into a 62 Sunburst Strat. 5762 pickup. Nice. 3-way switch. Interesting choice. Paper in oil cap until I buy a CS62. That is nice one. It's interesting with a 3-way. I think the 5-way is that was such a revelation when they came out with the 5-way, because there's no benefit of having a 3-way just unless you're really into
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, interesting, Trevor. Yeah, cool idea that you wanted that, and
nice project.
That's nice project. Nice one.
Should we do the news?
Yes, let's do the news.
We're
right.
well in, and we should get crack on.
We are well in. Char. We in?
It's thinking about it. Yay, there we go. Polyfiller.
There we go. Right. So Polyfiller's Scott Lepage has got a new guitar, and it is bloody horrible. Hold on. How do I zoom? Look at that monstrosity.
He doesn't look happy about it, does he, either?
Another face. It's another face. He's just going, what have I done? I wanted a Strat, and then I had a couple of beers, and I sent him drew a funny picture, and I sent it to him.
And I went, make me this.
And this is what came back. Yeah, I did this as a bit of a joke, and I sent it off to him, and shit.
It all
now
got a bit serious when they actually built it for me.
Bless it. Yeah, it's not. I mean,
it probably plays beautifully and all those sort of things. And
he's great. He's an awesome guitar. They both are. They're awesome. They're awesome guitar players. It's not my thing, but they are fantastic. But that guitar's a monstrosity. Sorry, mate. Right, next. So Susan Tedeschi. So basically, Tedeschi has got a signature Telecaster out. It's basically a Telecaster,
but it's
a Telecaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a Telecaster. There's nothing. I mean, so they've got pickups in it. It's got a 9.5 radius. It's got 22 frets. It's got 22. 22 frets. It's got 21. Oh, interesting. So it's got 22 frets, which I don't know. That's not standard on a vintage, so that's different. Yeah.
Mine's only 21.
It's a Telecaster.
Yeah.
It's a Telecaster.
Yeah, lovely.
Telecaster.
What's not to love?
Thought these were quite cool. Fender Japan again. They always come out with these sort of. They've done it before.
I like the Wave
and the. Huh?
I'm not sure. I'm not too bothered about Fuji, but I like the Wave.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. The Wave looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, I quite like them.
How much?
How much are they? Yeah, they are 198,000 yen, which is that is it's about $2,000, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Oh, what's that? I didn't see that. All black.
Oh, that's nice.
That's quite cool, isn't it? I'm not a massive fan of gold hardware, but it looks quite good on that one.
That looks nice. Yeah.
Oh God, have you seen this? So G&L have brought out the Rampage, which is Jerry Cantrell's signature guitar. So they brought that out again. Oh man, I'm not sure.
I'm not offended by that as much as I am that Polyfiller guitar.
No, definitely not. No, definitely. No, definitely not. That's the wrong. Right, I think the news of the week is this. I think these look absolutely brilliant. So this is the new PRS SE and F3. That looks great.
That's a really good looking guitar.
It's a really good looking guitar, isn't it?
I love the color as well.
Yeah, well done, PRS. Yeah, and that looks great. Isn't it? Really good. Yeah, we don't often praise PRS, but I think they've knocked it out of the park with that. It's an SE as well, so see how much it is. It's about £1,000, $1,000.
Nice.
It's a lot for an SE. It's a lot for an SE, but it's a nice guitar. I mean, wait a couple of months, and they'll be knocking them out for £500 on the colours that don't sell.
Yeah.
That's it. That's me done.
Wow. Okie dokie.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of news.
Okay, let's go. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Joe Marshall says, guitar isn't cool now. Cheers, guys. I'm way to sell my gear. So that's not great, is it?
Well,
is guitar not cool anymore?
Kids don't think guitar is cool.
Maybe that's why my YouTube subscriptions are going down. It's not cool anymore. Jeff Rock, your grandchildren will think you're cool though, James. It's true. Not with that shirt on.
I'm a way off. I'm a way off grandchildren, though, to be totally honest.
1960 CS says the hand-wired Wangs amps are very good for under $600. Oh yeah, Wangs are Chinese dumbles. That's a good shout. $600 US. I haven't tried one.
Interesting.
That's a good shout. Alan, for tuner changes to locking, hip shot are great. Good shout. Lightweight and have the mounting plate that requires no hole drilling. Good shout, Alan. Nice one. And Wadey says Clues and 3+3 Lock-in Revolution series are very good. There we go.
Okay.
Everyone seems to know more about these locking tuners than I do. I'm not a massive, as I said, I'm not a massive fan of locking tuners. So
I am not going to put stuff that's to do with football or politics up.
Oh, hold on. No. That one's all right. Not my country's all right. Not my country.
No, it gets. Go on then.
Is it? Okay. If you ever wonder why us Scots can't get behind England at tournaments during the Scotland, the BBC decided to tell us about the upcoming England game. If you ever wonder why us Scots can't get behind England at tournaments during the Scotland, the BBC decided to tell us about the upcoming England game. Piss off, not the time for that. I don't understand the whole thing about Scotland. They're just so. Look, go over it. Let's move on. What studio at Tonix pack do you recommend for the metal player? Good shout. See, that's a better comment.
The Boogie dual rectifier pack. I can't remember what we called it. But the picture will give it away.
Metal players. So I would recommend the. Well, it's easy for me. I would.
It's really easy, isn't it? The Mezzabara.
There's the Mezzabara. Yeah, it's called the Mezzabara one, which we've called the Mega Barber.
Mega Barbara.
Mega Barber, not Barbara. Mega Barber, which is a Mezzabarba. That is monster tones.
Mm-hmm.
The Bogner Ecstasy. These are two new packs that we've just done. I've just done. They are so much gain. I think you'd like them.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I'm not a Boogie fan. It's a bit dated for me.
The Boogie pack is good. I think this new Helios pack is going to be a lot of high gain in there. That'll be great.
And I've recently done the Soldano SLO 100, which is a one of the ultimate metal amps or rock amps. Metal amp, rock amp.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! That's a look.
Oh, looking good, Dave.
That's quite a look.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It just just the hairstyle change every week just gives him a different look. David says, "Hello, mates. I played a large outdoor venue this weekend, but it was too hot to really enjoy it. Wiping my guitar and face after every song sucks. Glad to be here. Hello, the rest of the pack." Yeah, I know. Yeah, it can get. Yeah, especially on the hot days. If the sun's beating down the stage in front of you. Yeah, that can be. Funky Bass. I've tried using the Auto Line 2 plugin from Sound Radix for drum phase alignment. I find it's helping as I get better at drum recording. I tried to nick Jivey and Warren Hewitt's tips and tricks. Nice.
Auto Line 2 is great. I actually prefer Auto Line 1 because it gives me the control back because I know what I want to be the center of the phase for the kit. But that's because I don't have Auto Line 2.
There you go. Funky Bears. I can't remember where I first heard this year ago. Dynamics. I'm already playing as loud as I can. Yes.
That sounds like something out of Spinal Tap.
Dave says, James, I watched a Pantera concert and the drummer said he's using the original drummer's captures. Is this as common as I think it should be? That's interesting. Who's the original? The original drummer is Dimebag's brother, isn't it? Is that right?
I couldn't say for certain.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I mean captures are.
You can use samples live, no problem at all. I know people even on the sort of the function band circuit who will use a kick drum sample live just so they haven't got a faff about trying to get a good kick drum sound.
Oh, to me, I think that's a way better way of doing it because then you get a consistent, you get that great sounding kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I hate it, but I get it.
Pet, without a sensitivity to dynamics, surely it becomes obnoxious eventually.
It certainly can do, yeah. It becomes compressed. Yeah. It's not even compressed, it's just there.
There's no dynamics. It's really funny because someone like Robert, who is a very dynamic player. Jeff, how about using Tone X for drums? Capture the kit, run the MIDI.
Doesn't quite work like that.
It doesn't work like that, but there's plenty of plugins that do work like that.
It's the sample.
Drums. Yeah.
My favorite is by a company called Drumforge. I think their samples sound amazing, but no one's heard of them, which is a shame.
Gary, I'm a blind person trying to learn the guitar. How hard would it be to voice over into a tuner pedal? I'm a blind person trying to learn the guitar. How hard would it be to a voice over into a tuner pedal? I'm a little bit confused, Gary. Just can you rephrase that maybe? Because I think we'd love to help, obviously.
Yeah. I think what it means is how do I get a tuner pedal to tell me verbally if I'm sharp or flat?
God, that's very astute of you.
Because if he's blind, he can't see if he's sharp or flat.
Okay. No, that works. Then possibly, can you not? There are some tuner pedals that play a tone, so you can choose the tone you should be tuning to. Hey, do you know what I think would be great for Gary? And I would never recommend this for anybody else, would be robo tuners.
Do you know what? I was going to say exactly that. And I thought, I'm not sure I can do that. But yeah, you're right. No, absolutely right.
For someone like Gary, that's perfect. He pushes a button, taps on a button.
In tune.
Then all your guitars tune themselves. Your strings tune themselves. I think that's, God, this shows you. And I wonder if the people who invented robo tuners thought that would be a great option for blind guitar players.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck. Yeah, good luck, Gary. If that's what you mean, have a look at the robo tuners. They can be retrofitted, and to be honest, there must be tons of them on the market because loads of people took them off their guitars. Pet, I know everything repeats from a dusty end onwards, but it's still uncharted, scary territory for me. It's a bit more fiddly, yeah. Mendel, that's a nice amp, James. It is a nice amp. Mendel, you should take a peek inside the wiring too. Yes. I don't know if Reinhold Bogner still makes his amps. I think it's all done by boutique amp distribution now. But I don't know from what point. Hollywood, the drum discussion was interesting. What? It reminds me of the famous Instagram drummer El Estepario.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see the one he did the other week where he put he was doing Rosanna or something, or Africa or something.
Yeah.
And he basically flipped up the stick, put it on his hi-hat, and was playing the hi-hat with the stick doing this.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
That man has done his 10,000 hours. All I'm saying.
He's unbelievable. And he gets a great tone as well.
Yeah.
He said that his mic setup for the majority of his drum videos was a single Yamaha EAD 10. What?
So the Yamaha EAD 10 is a drum mic solution that you basically clip on your bass drum, and it's got microphones in it that point. It's very cool. It's a very cool thing.
Wow.
It's very, very clever. I have seen. I've never embraced it, but it works for small kits. It works for kind of like one up, one down snare stuff because
his tone's brilliant. I mean, I know he's gonna have a great tone anyway.
Yeah, I mean, but say he could. Some of the best one single point drum recordings I've ever got have been from camcorders, because you hit the compressor on a camcorder and the drums just sound amazing.
Yeah, they sound massive.
El Estepario Cipriano, to give him, I believe that's his full name, could play on a Fisher Price drum kit and it would sound amazing.
Yeah, he's proper good. Scrunge caught the Smashing Pumpkins last week in Manchester, live for the first time. Well impressive. We've got our good song 1979. What a tune! Can't stop playing the damn thing. Oh, it's such they had some great tunes. That and Tonight is just some of my favorite tunes. Brilliant songs. The only thing I don't like about Smashing Pumpkins is his voice.
Yeah.
and you get used to it. You just go, okay, well, it's you know who it is instantly, but it's just it's a little bit.
Yeah.
But great tunes. Jeff Rock, haha, great face. Caption that picture. Really, are you serious?
Yes. A bit of chat amongst themselves. Let's go there.
Nice. Jeff Cook, greetings, Rax. I'm coming to you live from Nimbin, in northern New South Wales, in the land down under. I've missed most of the show, but yeah. Cheers, Jeff. Good to have you along.
Nice.
Not my country says one of these days Paul will finish that sentence he started a few times now. The thing about Scotland is one of my best mates is Scottish. I love the Scottish people. I just wish. I don't again because I don't want to offend anyone. I just wish the Scottish just like the English a bit better, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. I just it's like the French. Is it the English and the French and the English?
We're so close, and yet we're yes.
Oh, it's just like, why can't we all just get on?
Gonino did that. Gonino.
Where's Steve? Steve should be on this. Steve Cassidy. Emil ordered a Katana Artist Gen 3. Nice one, Emil. Nice. I've got the head turned up the other day. I've got the heads to do a video on this month. Need to get that done. The head's got a little speaker in it as well, which is really handy. Emil, Sweetwater had shipping of August 24th, but now says December 24th. Do you have any insight on ship dates for what? What are we talking about here?
What?
Oh, Katana Artist. What?
I don't know.
As far as I know, that I know the heads. There was only a certain amount that were coming into the UK, but Sweetwater, I don't know about the American side of things. That would be I wouldn't have any access to that anyway, because my contacted boss is on the English side. Although I think he probably deals with the American side, but might need to get in contact with boss US for that.
Yeah.
God, that is a wait.
However,
yes, sir. I need it to speak to me. What are we talking about?
Tuners.
Tuner. Right. Sorry. So Gary, yes. Tones. So I wonder if there's a way that Gary can set up tones that he can tune to. I don't know how this is going to happen.
Gary,
almost like a looper, like a mini looper pedal that played the tones. So you could do that.
We don't know where you are, but when I was at Sibelius, we had very strong links with the RNIB in London, who showed me loads of different tools and things that I would never have normally seen for blind and visually impaired musicians. Hit them up. Hit them an email. If I'm guessing there will be a similar type organization in other countries in the world. Hit them up. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to point you in the right direction. Something like, if you're as something that's just come to me, something like Jaws, the screen reader. If you have an on-screen tuner in your DAW, for example, use the screen reader to tell you when you're in tune. Jaws is amazing. There was a guy who used to write the Sibelius scripts for us called Dan Rugman. And he won't mind me saying this, because whenever he phoned, I could hear his computer before him. So it'd be ring, ring, pick it up, and I'd hear, and I'd be like, hi, Dan. Because the speed at which he had the Jaws screen reader set to was incomprehensible to anybody else. But it was just, wow. He knew exactly what was going on. It was hilarious, but it worked.
Mateus Barros, he says, what's your favorite captures for the Tone X to use as a clean platform for my pedal board? I think everyone's favorite is probably the Matchbox pack, which is a Matchless Independence 35. That is the best-selling capture.
Yeah. The Silverface has done all right as well. The Fender Twin, because they're all quite. There's a lot of clean stuff in there because it's a Fender Twin.
James is always going to be more into the captures that he's done. I'm always going to be probably more into the captures that I've done.
Only because I know them better.
But just take this little piece of advice. James is a drummer and he's deaf. That's what I've got to say. So who are you going to trust?
James is a studio engineer with microphones and preamps and stuff, and Paul does it all using his generic gear.
Paul sold quite a lot of records. You don't need to worry about that.
James has played on
right.
Paul's records. Hang on, for some reason that's doing that.
Keith Milner, for Gary, something like the Roadie 3 or Jwoom Smart Tuner might be the thing. Cheers, Keith. Good one. So, Gary, yeah, check that out. So, Keith has said the Roadie 3 or Jwoom Smart Tuner, although I think they still have a graphical interface, so it might not work. It might be worth having a look at. Mateus Barros, I'm looking for Tone X pack that covers a wide ground. Does the Bogner do that? A wide ground Mesa Barber, the Mega Barber pack, wide ground, or the Soldano pack for me.
I think the Helios will do a similar thing, just different variations on.
The Helios is great. The Helios is great. Has a nice clean tone, but it's very fixed on that clean tone. I think the Helios will sound great. By the way, there's no benefit to either myself or James touting their own patches because they all go in the same pot anyway. So
I'm only saying that because I know my patches.
James's patches sound a certain way. My patches sound a certain way. What's that? I didn't hear that.
So the only reason I say my ones is because I know them better. I know the patches that are in it. I'm not that I'm trying to sell more than you.
Yeah.
And 3, 2, 1.
Trying to shit it. Trying to shit.
Willie. Right. There's chatting going on. There's chatting going on. Let's keep going.
Oh, listen to the cover of 1979 by The Contortionist. Really good, better vocals. Nice. I will do that. Steve, he says, I'm here. Thanks for calling me a best mate, Paul. Didn't know you cared so much. There you go.
Right.
See, all of my friends only have 1979 and Tonight. Yeah, see, cracking tunes. Smashing Pumpkins are rotten. See, the very diverse.
They're a Marmite band, aren't they?
Very much so. Very much so. I used to think Smashing Pumpkins were rotten, and then I listened back to the songs, and some of them are just absolutely fantastic. You've got to listen to the songs and stuff.
Yeah.
Dave, he says, "Hi, rats and friends. I pressed the like button. Have you? Cheers, Dave. It really helps, like especially at the moment where YouTube is kicking me in the balls. Oh, please, yeah, if you can give us a like, it really, really helps." Steve, just wanted to add, as another Scot, I have zero interest in football. I'm a taxi driver's worst nightmare.
See the game last night?
Way of putting it.
No.
And he's like, Pet, personally, I think his vocals, love them or hate them, gives it a certain charm. Yeah, definitely. You know who it is?
Yeah.
Steve, is there a Tonix capture for a Mezza Lone Star 100 watt? Not yet. Not yet. Yeah. Lone Stars do pop up occasionally.
Yeah.
You'd like a Lone Star. That's a U amp, that is. All over.
Yeah.
Because the thing is why I'm avoiding that is because if it doesn't work or there's something wrong with it, I don't want the repair bill for a Lone Star.
No.
James loves amps that break.
Only because they only ever break when they go to your house. Nearly a bloody heart attack this afternoon, but moving on.
Yeah, nearly did. Joe says, I like the music, but can't get into Korgmaster's singing. Yeah, I think he's very divisive in his singing. Jeff, there's a talking tuner app for iPhone called, oddly enough, Talking Tuner. Nice one, Jeff. It was created specifically for visually impaired players. There we go.
See, if we don't know, the Communitar does.
Yeah, well done, Jeff. Good work there. How about a push capture? Push capture, I would go for the Matchless. The Matchless, the push, the tone that I'm using that I put into Quad Cortex, the push capture that I've got in there of the Mezza Barber as well is really good. That Mezza Barber amp is absolutely brilliant. Eldad Mendez, hey guys, greetings from Indiana, USA. Greetings, Eldad. That's a nice Brian Setzer Gretsch you got there, mate.
Lovely.
I like that color. I've been following your channel for quite a few. Love your stuff. Cheers, Eldad. Nice to have you along. Jeff, I'm a leisure centre manager. Steve and I detest the game.
Good work. At this point, it is time to do this.
Stupid comment of the week.
This one's a beauty. This one is an.
I know we've forgotten about this, but this is just I think this is my favourite because it's getting.
So, James, what is the video about?
So, the video's title is "The Best Marshall Tone Ever," and it's not a Marshall, the Phil X Friedman. And the comment is,
what was the question?
What amp were you playing through? And that is
Stupid comment of the week.
That is good. I love that. It's almost like I know what he did. He just he didn't switch on. He commented without even looking at the video. That is the funniest.
Yes.
Anyway, what's next?
Thank you, everyone, for joining. There's some more appeared.
There's a couple more done. Willie's actually done a proper comment. Good time of the year to get a job in the freezer roll. Although the danger of losing an eye is always there. I think Willie's just a bit of a surrealist, and I like it. Keith, did you see that ludicrous display last night? What are we talking about?
I hope they're not talking about football because I'll just
Football,
ban
maybe. Gary, I'm Manchester based.
Right.
Also used to talking tuna phone. Sometimes it's not that accurate, which is why I was looking for the pedal. Oh, damn. But yeah, keep us posted, Gary. And if anything else comes up that we think of, we'll definitely bring it up.
Definitely. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm going to bed now because I'm absolutely wasted. We will be back next week. I'm hoping I'm actually on a job for Al next week, a sound engineering job that he's booked me for, which is going to be either hilarious or disastrous, or I'm not sure which. But I hopefully will be in a hotel in Birmingham next week when we speak. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll be surrounded by people I can't understand. They'll be great. So have a great week, everyone. Great weekend and all that sort of stuff. Stay safe and all those sort of things. And we will see you next time. Good night.